Here we go again, another what's in my bag video. When this video goes live, I should be on the start line of the Great British Escapades event, a 500km, 8,000 metres of climbing bikepacking event that takes place in June. The route takes in both the North and South Downs, starting and finishing in Canterbury. It's an event I've ridden before, and in this video I'm going to go through what I'm taking in my bags, my bike setup, and my top 3 bits of kit. So this is all the gear I'm taking on the Great British Escapade. Starting at the top, this is the stuff I'll be carrying in my top tube bag. I've got 2 batteries in here, one to power my phone, one to power my Garmin, and I've got a Garmin cable and a charger for my phone. My little headphones, 2 GoPro batteries for the filming, and a dyno plug for any quick puncture fixes. The rest of the gear is going to be going in my Tailfin. I've got a selection of carb mixed drinks and a few bars to give me a good start on the food, so I can get a good chunk of the riding done before I have to stop anywhere to refuel. And to go with that, some electrolytes to keep those electrolyte levels topped up. Over here is kind of my hygiene gear, I'd call it. I've got some antibacterial wipes, some tissues, 2 bottles of chamois cream, some sun cream just in case. This one I bought on the Atlas Mountain race and paid a ridiculous price for a very small bottle in the middle of nowhere. I think they probably saw me coming. Toothbrush and toothpaste, some Sudocrem, some little wound cleansing wipes and plasters, etc. And some tick removal tweezers, just because I hate ticks and we're going on to the South Downs and there's a lot of ticks in that area. In terms of spares and repairs, it's kind of the usual stuff really. Got some spare brake pads, a spare cleat for my shoe. This is my little multi-tool wrap, which has got various Allen keys and whatnot in there. A pump with a load of tape wrapped around it. My little magic box. Some spare chain lube. Cable ties just in case. Spare mech hanger just in case. Tyre boots with some thread. Little mini multi-tool. A thingamabob, whatever you call it, to put the old bacon strips in the tyre if you get a puncture, and a set of tyre levers, which also got a spare chain link in there, and it can be used to break the chain as well. Oh, and a spare gear cable as well, just in case, and of course 2 spare inner tubes. Not forgetting a little bike lock in case I want to secure my bike while I run in a shop to get some food and water, etc. Now on this ride I'm going to take a few risks. You might see there's something missing. There's no sleeping bag or bivvy bag other than this little sole emergency bivvy, and perhaps my down jacket at the back there. When I rode this event last year I stopped for about half hour for a sleep. This time I'm going to try and push through, and if needs be I'll put that down jacket on, maybe some other layers, and lie on the ground somewhere for half hour and see how that works. But sometimes you just got to take a risk. In terms of clothing, I'll be wearing most of it, but it can get quite chilly at night time even though it's June. So I've got a selection of things to deal with that. I've got some arm warmers, leg warmers, got a buff, I've got this warm gilet, and I've got a pair of gloves in case it gets very cold. And of course, being England, the old rain jacket, because you never know. Even if it says it's not going to rain, it probably will. And worst case scenario is it gets really cold, and that's just another layer I can bung on. So that's the gear I'm taking. Obviously way less than I took on the Atlas Mountain race. Hopefully it'll be enough, but we'll find out in a few days' time. So here's the bags on the bike, ready to go. Got that Tailfin on the rear, and the Tailfin top tube bag up here, and also tucked around here I've got a feed bag which I filled up with Haribo and other sweets which I can easily reach while I'm riding. And in terms of the bike itself, again it's my Trek Pro Caliber hardtail. Up front I've got my aero bars. There won't be huge sections of this route where they'll be useful, but there are bits here and there which provide a little bit of relief for my hands and a bit of comfort being able to ride in a different position. And what's helpful about the aero bars is they provide a nice bit of room to mount my Garmin and my Exposure 6-pack light, which frees up a bit of space down here also. So I've got some extra grips both on the ends of the bars and in the middle of the bars. Again, all about that comfort. I'm riding the Vittoria Mezcal tyres. I think these were the ones I rode at Atlas Mountain race. In part I just couldn't be bothered to buy another set of tyres really, and there's still quite a good bit of grip on them, so hopefully they'll be alright on the way around. There isn't a huge amount of new kit that I haven't used before. I've got a new set of pedals because my other ones were totally knackered and actually worn away a load of the metal. So a quick little zoom in. You can see the cool cats are still there. There's the Garmin mounted up front with the exposure light beneath. Got my feed bag, and a little bell to give some people a warning if I'm coming through. Down here I've got my Sid RockShox fork, which I had serviced not very long ago. I think the service intervals were something like 40 hours maybe, and obviously probably did double that just in the Atlas Mountain Race. On the top tube I'm keeping it fairly limited with just the one top tube bag this time because it's not as far, and then you can see the Tailfin mounted to the back of the bike with a rear light on it. I might have to add another little rear light down here as a backup just in case it runs out of battery. Otherwise just 2 bottle cages which I'll use for my bottles, which will have carb mix in, and I'll keep a hydration bladder in my vest for pure water. So the bit we all enjoy is how much does this weigh? Remember, my Atlas Mountain Race bike was something like 22.5 kilos without any water or food, and my Dale's Divide setup I think was about 19.5, 20 kilos. So if I get my handy luggage scale from Wish, we'll hook it up and give it away. That's 18.4 kilos with some food in the feed bag, a few packs of Haribo and a load of carb mix and other bars in the back. Without that stuff it'd probably be more like 17.5 kilos, so certainly lighter than some of the bikes I've been lugging around on these events so far. So that's my kit, my bags and my bike. But what are my top 3 pieces of kit which I'm taking with me? First up, it's the Tailfin pack. Although it's heavier than using a normal saddle pack like an Apidura pack, which I have been using in the past, getting things in and out of Tailfin is really straightforward and very simple. So I'm hopefully going to spend a little bit less time faffing around taking things out of my bag and then trying to pack it up nicely again and put it back on my bike. Because with the Tailfin you can essentially just open the top of it, pull what you need out, roll it back down again and off you go. My second favourite bit of kit is these cheap little headphones. When you're riding deep into the night and feeling a bit tired, sometimes you just need something to perk you up. I'll be downloading an audiobook and a load of tunes, so when I get into those dark hours, perhaps between 2 and 4 AM, I can put something on and take my mind off of that tiredness and desire to go to sleep. And finally, it's this nice little puffy Gillet from Rafa. Although it's the start of June, it's still forecast to be pretty chilly at night time, maybe 7 degrees, something like that. And when you're up high on those exposed areas, with some wind, it'll probably feel even more chilly. So this little Gillet, I can pull it out my Tailfin, put it on, and get rid of some of that wind chill to try and stay warm. So there it is, the kit I'm taking and the bike I'm riding. As I say, I'm taking a few risks on this one, not taking any proper sleeping gear, because sometimes I think you just have to go for it. I'm aiming to do a video of my ride, which I'll hopefully be able to share in a week or 2, and maybe I'll follow it up with a review of the kit I took and whether I got away with taking those risks. Anyway, thank you for watching and catch up soon.